What's my number one?
Is it Sapphire versus Sensational Sherry?
Ready. Newsstand versus Newsletter embarks on a journey of a classic wrestling year. Were the PWI readers accurate with their assessment of talent? Were the Wrestling Observer newsletter subscribers more right than wrong? Join longtime friends Scotty and Andrew as they talk about Newsstand versus Newsletter.
Welcome to another fabulous episode of Newsstand versus Newsletter. I am your host, the future Hall of Famer, Scotty B. Going to bring in Luscious Andrew, who doesn't play in traffic, because I'll tell you, kids, don't play in traffic with Luscious Johnny V, or he won't make it as alive. So, Andrew, when you cross the street, do you look both ways, or you say, fuck it, I'm going the whole way?
It's funny. Right by my place, it used to be pretty good for jaywalking because there's hardly any traffic from one direction, and the other one, there's a long enough space that nobody's surprising you. You can see when they're coming. But now they put up these barriers so that you have to go a little bit that way or a lot that way, or you jump over it, which
oh my god, that's the next way now. Why the construction, sons of bitches. All right, 2017. I know you've all turned it off by now or not clicked on it. I get it. And I understand, man, because it's not an easy year to do, but you got to do it. We have a really fun halftime show coming up. The halftime show is great. Do you want to give it away right now, Andrew, or make them wait till they actually might stick around until after Rookie of the Year?
Sure. It's we're each going to reveal our top 100 SummerSlam matches of all time, because this is the SummerSlam special, Summerfest special, I should say.
Yeah, don't get hit with that copyright. Don't get hit with that copyright. Not that we care anymore.
Well,
We've given
don't you remember when what's his name from Entourage was the guest host of Raw? And
no, I probably didn't watch it.
Weird, because you were really into it at that time.
No, never.
He was like, "Well, we'll see you at Summerfest," and he kept calling SummerSlam Summerfest.
Vince is going, "What the fuck is this guy doing? Get him the fuck out of the ring."
It's so funny because at that era, if you were a celebrity, they would latch onto you. But now, celebrities have been fans, so they know the product probably better than some of the writers do.
Some of the wrestlers do, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hop right into it. 2017, the Wrestling Observer PWI Awards. We're going to start right away with Rookie of the Year. I'll let, if Andrew, do you want to go first, Rookie of the Year? I'll guess yours.
Sure.
Bianca Belair.
Good guess. It is actually Otis Dozovic.
Okay.
He wins it with 28% of the vote. First runner-up is Ray Gonzalez Jr. with 24%. Second runner-up is Andy Williams with 23%. Third runner-up is Hirai Kawato with 15%. And by the way, Andy Williams, AEW fans may be more familiar with him as the Butcher.
Yep.
Actually hasn't been wrestling that long, even though he looks like he's a veteran.
90 years old, yeah.
I know. Honorable mentions totaling 10% include Bianca Belair,
Future Hall of Famer Scotty B,
Terasaki Kanemutsu, and Takayuya Nomura. And for you, I'm going to guess Bianca Belair.
No, it is. Let's go get the name right, children, because
is it Hirai Kawato?
Kazuchika Katamura. Yes, that's who it is. That's the Rookie of the Year. Let's go get the runner-ups here real quickly. Microman, Bianca Belair, Tomoa Aka. That does not sound right. Austin Theory, everyone's favorite. Shota Minomi, Leo Tonga, D'Angelo Williams. That's it. So with that, fuck, I don't even know, man. I guess Otis, because I don't know the other dude.
Same. For me, love All Japan in the 80s, love All Japan in the 90s, love Noah in the early 2000s. But man, after a while, I just stopped following Noah and All Japan because it feels like New Japan's the only one that gets referenced. So like if you miss,
don't worry, we'll get in the New Japan later.
Okay.
So, all right, right back into it, baby. We're 5 minutes in. We're not fucking around today. We're going most improved. Pick mine first.
Is it Braun Strowman?
It is Braun Strowman, which is, I guess, yeah, he had an okay year because he went from being like the big goof in the Wyatt family to being something. So we'll give him that. The runner-ups, Braun Strowman wins with 275 votes. Juice Robinson, 239. Velveteen Dream. Oh, well, we don't hear much about him anymore.
Weird.
Bastard.
But Austin Theory's allowed in there, but Velveteen Dream's not.
What did Theory do again?
He was Snapchatting with 13-year-olds.
Ah, boy. Good for him. Cody's fourth. Keith Lee, Hangman Page, Nebeka Rodra, and then Burrito Matt Riddle. Yeah. So your most improved. I'll also go with Braun Strowman.
It's former world champion Jinder Mahal.
Okay. Yeah, he had that run. He had that run that year. Yeah.
He wins it with 34% of the vote. First runner-up is Braun Strowman with 28%. Second runner-up is Eli Drake with 15%. Third runner-up is Naomi with 11%. And honorable mentions totaling 12% include Authors of Pain, Alexa Bliss, Pete Dunne, Kushida, Adam Page, Velveteen Dream, and Jay White.
I'll go with Strowman on it because Mahal didn't really improve. He just got a bigger push. That's all that was.
Yep. I'm going to agree. Well, he started taking his IcoPro. So he's a student of the game. He knows how to get the attention.
Is it the Triple H IcoPro or is it the Bret Hart IcoPro? There's two different kinds of IcoPro we got rolling through there. Excuse me. All right, rolling along. For you, inspirational wrestler of the year. For me, the one everyone loves, most disgusting promotional tactic. Inspirational wrestler of the year for you. God, I mean, I don't even have a clue. 2017. Daniel Bryan. Let's just go with that.
It is Christopher Daniels.
Why?
Fallen Angel. He wins it with 21% of the vote.
Did he do something? Come back from something?
He won the ROH world title despite being about 80 years old.
Yeah.
So he inspired a lot of seniors out there to
like us right now, like me going to win the world title.
Exactly.
I mean, I can be an event stock. Jesus Christ, I'm younger than most of the main eventers they have in that company.
First runner-up is John Cena. Second runner-up is Shane McMahon. Third runner-up is Mia Yim. And honorable mentions totaling 29% include Kurt Angle, Joe Doring, Ric Flair, Jay Lethal, Cody Rhodes, Nicole Savoy, Katsuyori Shibata, and the Young Bucks.
And P.S. Before we jump into the next thing, I thought in my brain, have you seen the YouTube guy that does he was talking about the Series 1 LJNs?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was interesting. Really cool thing. I was talking about, he'd never seen them before until he got to about Christmas time and how it just blew his mind. It's like, oh, man, that's a good time. So remember my Heart Foundation, when I got that at like 9, I loved it. Got the tag teams with the belts. That was a good time, man.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that was out. I remember my grandfather had bought me the steel cage, and I was such an ungrateful little guy. I was like, yay, but I didn't really want the steel cage. Like, for me, as a kid, it wasn't the accessories. It was I
didn't use them either.
And I remember my mom going out and then coming back with the Heart Foundation. I was like, what? And then I later on got the Killer Bees, but I had never seen a tag team together.
Yeah, the bells. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I got Dynamite Kid solo, so I didn't even see the Bulldogs as a tag team. And I know that they had Sheik and Volkov and Hogan and Hillbilly Jim, but I never saw those in the stores.
Random. Well, Hogan and Hillbilly made sense, but once Hillbilly broke that leg, that was the end of his fuck. Well, not the end of his run, like we talked about before. He had run until the 90s, but all right. Let's go to my most disgusting promotional tactic.
Is it WWE's relationship with Saudi Arabia?
Not yet, because I don't think they had it yet. Let me take a look. I'm going to find my awards.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
But I'll give you it.
Yeah, that was my guess.
Hailing Jimmy Snuka as a hero after being accused and actually indicted on murder. And people that don't know about that, he was, I guess, accused of killing his girlfriend in 1983. When you give them 6 different stories to the police, you sound guilty. I'm just saying. And Vince walks in with a briefcase and walks out, and here comes Snuka with him. Just saying, that's a little sketchy. So that got the first vote for 162 votes. Jinder Mahal racial interviews in the Nakamura feud. WB idolizing. I don't know how they're trying to say here. Idolizing something about the war in breast cancer campaign. WWE pushing Jinder Mahal as champion for Indian market. That's not that bad. That's kind of smart, actually.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Rise in promotion of Gabby Garcia against older, smaller women. WWE's Kevin Owens headbutts Vince McMahon. Come on, that is so stupid. This was the 80s over here, early 80s. AAA and other promotions using Sexy Star. Who's Sexy Star? What's the deal with this cat?
Let's see. I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe she was reckless. I think I may remember that she was like overtly stiff, and they just kept booking her because, hey, it's wrestling.
WWE workplace bullying while promoting anti-bullying. Yeah, that makes sense. Conor McGregor racial promos. I'll give them the number one. That makes sense. Snuka as a hero in death, definitely. That's definitely number one because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, buddy, just slam your fucking door. All the shit there next door, big guy. You don't need that door. Who needs doors these days? My fucking neighbor's kid's an idiot. All right. Most underrated for me, most hated for you. Oh, sorry, most popular. I apologize. Most popular. So you get to pick my most underrated.
Is it Cesaro?
It is not. It is
Oh!
Rusev. Yes. Rusev wins it with 94 votes. Teramota Ashia, 92 votes. Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Chad Gabriel, and Roderick Strong. So Cesaro made the list. He wasn't one. He wasn't two either, surprisingly. Most popular for you? Oh, fuck. 2017, man. I was hardly even watching. Brian wasn't wrestling yet. I don't fucking know. Seth Rollins?
It's a good guess. It is AJ Styles.
Yeah, okay.
The phenomenal one wins it with 37% of the vote. First runner-up is Shinsuke Nakamura with 10%. Second runner-up is Braun Strowman with 9%. And third runner-up is Kazuchika Okada with 7%. Honorable mentions totaling 37% include Dean Ambrose, John Cena, Finn Balor, Jay Lethal, Kenny Omega, and Seth Rollins.
Fabulous. All right. Tag team of the year. We're really burning through these. But that, I'll tell you right now, that halftime was going to take a bit, so we're going to get through these quickly. Tag team of the year for you, I'm going to go with the Usos.
It is the Young Bucks.
Oh, I've heard of that tag team. I've heard of them before.
The Young Bucks win Tag Team of the Year with 28% of the vote. First runner-up is Cesaro and Sheamus, also known as The Bar, with 23%. Second runner-up is Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose with 22%. Do you remember them reuniting?
Did I watch it 17? No.
Yeah.
I really didn't watch. I'm serious. I didn't watch anything in 17, I don't think.
The third runner-up is the Usos with 21%. And honorable mentions totaling just 6% include the Authors of Pain, Hanson and Raymond Rowe, Matt and Jeff Hardy, The New Day, and Santana and Ortiz.
And who wins the Observer Tag Team of the Year?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's Matt and Nick Jackson.
The Young Bucks, yes, they do win it because that's their fucking award to win every goddamn year. Let's see if anyone can close them. They win with 4,255 votes. The Usos are second with 1,700 votes. So they won by a little bit. Watch them by a bit. War Machine, Cesaro and Sheamus, Penta and Rey Fenix. Doesn't fucking matter because the Bucks just run away with it like they always do. All right, we're almost at halftime, brother. 15 minutes in. Next award for you, and the next award for me, because we have different ones, is... Let me go to my format real quickly here. For you, it's Comeback of the Year. For me, it's Show of the Year. So you picked the Show of the Year from The Observer.
Show like a pay-per-view or TV?
Yes. Best show. Best pay-per-view.
Is it Wrestle Kingdom?
It is Wrestle Kingdom. Correct. And we'll get into that a lot later on. So Wrestle Kingdom wins it with 801 votes. New Japan Domination, 200 votes. UFC 217, MSG 36, NXT TakeOver in Chicago, G1 Climax Finals, NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. Comeback of the year for you. Oh, I don't fucking know. Cody? I don't know. Jeff Hardy. Oh my God, man. Hasn't that guy won it a couple times?
It's the Hardy. They win it.
Yeah, oh my God. That's not the first time they won that award.
No, it's not, Scott. Comeback of the year belongs to the Hardys,
Sting, or Sting.
And Sting. Like those, like if you want to get a good guess, if you get those ones, you're probably going to win it. Yeah, so they win it with 39% of the vote. First runner-up is Finn Balor with 25%. Second runner-up is Mickie James with 11%. And third runner-up is Shelton Benjamin with 9%. Honorable mentions totaling 16% include Kurt Angle, Joe Doring, Serena Deeb, Paige, and Davey Richards.
All right. The quickest halftime show ever, man. We're 16 minutes in, and we're at the half already. But we're getting through it quick. All right, so we're going to jump into the halftime show with our sports and all that good stuff. I mixed up a little bit this time. It's going to be a little fun. So fun's always good, isn't it, kids? Come on. All three is watching. Answer it. Andrew, you don't count. Neither do I. All right, NFL draft. First overall pick is Myles Garrett for the Cleveland Browns. And that's a really good first overall pick because that guy is pretty fucking awesome. He swings a mean helmet, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call him bad words. He'll fuck you up. You ever see that? You remember when that happened?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the quarterback for the Steelers was getting really tough, and then all of a sudden Garrett came running. I was like, whoa, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Okay, best overall records that year in the NFL. Let me give you a hint. It's 4 teams. 4 teams with 13-3.
Was it the Chiefs, Patriots, 49ers, and Packers?
You got the Patriots right. The Patriots were 13-3. The Steelers were also 13-3. The Eagles were 13-3.
Right.
And the Vikings were 13-3.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah, and the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. I remember that very well. When Brady fumbled the ball, I was really excited. It's a little picture of Nick Foles, who's gone from like, okay, dude, you're good for like 2 months, and you're going back to being a backup forever. But probably the best backup in the league for a long time. You got to say that. I mean, Foles is definitely one of the best backups in the league.
Probably still in the conversation.
Jeez, he's better than Wentz. Wentz is fucking nothing now. He's over in that's the year that Wentz had that really good run. And everyone thought he was awesome, and then he came back and he just shit the bed. All right, Major League Baseball. Best record, worst record. Oh, sorry, I had to go through the I won't bother going through the MVPs and stuff. Major League Baseball, best and worst record.
Best record was it the Dodgers? And worst record, the Orioles?
It is the Dodgers. Best record. And the worst record was the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, wow.
It was an off year. They only won on years. Yeah.
They're
very up. Well, yeah, but the Red Sox are usually pretty decent. We only had a couple real bad years. And in the World Series, the Houston Astros defeated, I think it's the Dodgers.
Yeah, with no controversy at all.
No, everything was good. There was no problems. Let me bring up that picture real quick because I show pictures. There's that. I'm going to jump into I do have the awards in front of me. Give me a second here. Rookie of the Year, Cody Bellinger. Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees. Cy Young, Matt Scherzer from Washington. Corey Kluber for Cleveland. Guardians. Manager of the Year, can't pronounce the last name, was Arizona's managers. Paul Molitor was the manager of the year for the Minnesota Twins. And MVP, Stanton for Miami and Jose Altuve, I can't pronounce the last name, for Houston. The guy who put the fucking mic in his shirt. Remember when he walked off?
Jose Altuve.
Get off me. Don't touch that. I want everyone seeing my fucking mic. That really went out well for them. NBA, best record.
Golden State Warriors.
You are correct. Worst record.
Was it 76ers?
No, but that's a good guess because they were bad then. No, it was the Nets. And the Nets are going right back. they're going right back to that worst record next year because they're going to lose the godsend Kevin Durant. Fuck him. And the NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-1. And you know what's big about that one?
That was
lost. Go ahead.
Oh, was that the series where what's his name thought that they were up but they were tied, and he took the ball and he dribbled back?
I don't know about that, but it was they only lost one game that playoff run. Cleveland did, or Golden State did.
They're pretty good.
Last is hockey. Best team and worst team.
I'm going to say Washington Capitals.
Yeah, because they're always the fucking best team and they don't do shit. Worst team.
Was it the Coyotes?
Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a
That's
turnaround.
good. Yeah, another won the Stanley Cup this year. And the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's take a quick look here. The Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Nashville Predators 4-2. And there's the Pittsburgh Penguins. And for TV, let's jump into that real quickly. I went the wrong way. I shouldn't have done that. That was kind of stupid. Number 4, tied. It was number 4. The reboot of Roseanne, and This Is Us. Oh my God, This Is Us is disgusting. Number 2 is also tied. Sunday Night Football, NCIS, and number 1, the number 1 TV show of 2017 is The Big Bang Theory. Oh, you're gonna guess? I'm sorry.
That's how
fuck that show.
I was going to guess Big Bang Theory because they were a juggernaut for a long time.
Oh, so gross. All right, movies. Top 5. We have Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Wonder Woman, Beauty and the Beast, and the number 1 movie of 2017 is, and I'll let you guess this time before clicking on it too quickly.
Was it a Star Wars movie?
Yeah. And last and least, no, sorry, no, I'm not. No, there's one more after this. We have music. So let's take a look at here. Number 5, Imagine Dragons Evolve. Oh my God, man, I don't listen to any music anymore. Taylor Swift, Reputation. It's 4. Soundtrack to the Greatest Showdown is 3. And number 2, I don't have number 1, so we're going with number 2, I guess. Divide and Edward Sherman. I must have deleted number 1.
All right.
But whatever. No one gives a fucking shit. No one's watching. Who cares? And the last thing is top video games of the year. So let me just get this out of the way here. Hold on.
Fuck.
And we'll get into our top video games of the year. Our Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Abyss, Call of Duty World War II, FIFA 2018, and the last is Players Unknown Battlegrounds. Never played in my life.
Never even heard.
That is done, and we are jumping in to the top 100 SummerSlam matches as voted on by the future Hall of Famers Scotty B and Mr. Luscious Andrew. We'll run it like we do before, 100 to 90. 90, explain why the match. I don't know. And good luck.
You wanna go
A lot of
first?
these matches. Yeah, I'll go first. I'll let you know some of these matches just look good on paper. I don't remember seeing them. So I can't explain to you whatever. Number 100, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior defeated Colonel Mustafa, General Agnog, and Sergeant Slaughter. 99, Kempatera versus Bad News Brown. 98, Crush versus Repo Man. 97, Al Snow versus the Big Boss Man. 96, The Undertaker versus Kama. 95, IRS versus Greg Valentine. 94, Lex Luger versus Yokozuna from SummerSlam 93. That was fucking hard to put in there, man. Diesel versus King Mabel, 93. Nails versus Virgil, 92. 91, Tatanka versus Lex Luger. And 90, Randy Savage versus Dusty Rhodes from SummerSlam 90. And that was just fucking shit, man. Like, that was not a good match. It was just Dusty like, where's Sapphire? I can't find her anywhere. It's like, what, did you fucking lose your cat, dude? Don't worry about Sapphire. Bitch has been paid off. She's owned by $1 million man now, brother. It's not racist or anything that he did that. Just get in the ring, but Dusty was all beat up.
Yeah, that was pretty much a squash. It was like 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
It was bad. All right, you go your 100 to 90.
Sure. My number 100 is Kamala versus The Undertaker. 99, Erwin R. Shyster versus Greg the Hammer Valentine. 98, the Bolsheviks versus the Powers of Pain.
Fuck, why did I forget that match? I can't believe I forgot that match.
My number 97 is Bad News Brown versus Jake the Snake Roberts. 96 is Ludwig Borga versus Marty Jannetty. 95, Rick Rude versus Junkyard Dog. 94, Kurt Hennig versus Red Rooster. 93, Davey Boy Smith versus Ken Shamrock. 92, IRS versus 123 Kid. 91, Warlord versus Tito Santana. And my number 90 from 2001 is Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. I remember preferring their match at Invasion, but it was still okay.
89, Undertaker versus Kamala. 88, Bret Hart versus Isaac Yankem. 87, Jim Duggan, the Bushwhackers versus the Mountie and the Nasty Boys. 86, Tatanka versus the Berserker. 85, Ken Shamrock versus Steve Blackman. 84, Dusty Rhodes versus the Honky Tonk Man. 83, Barry Horowitz versus Skip. 82, Jake Roberts versus Hercules. And 81, Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart. And 80, Razor Ramon versus Ted DiBiase. Not really a bad match, but I've seen it like originally. I had been out of the loop for a bit. And I thought it was kind of, look at that, like DiBiase's leaving. I don't know, it was okay. It was, that's basically how to explain that match. It was okay, DiBiase with his rare white trunks. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead with yours.
My 89 is Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton. 88, Tatanka versus Lex Luger. 87, The Rock versus Billy Gunn. 86, IRS and Bam Bam Bigelow versus the Head Shrinkers. 85, The First Elimination Chamber. 84, Brian Pillman versus Goldust. 83, Greg Valentine versus Hercules. 82, Isaac Yankem versus Bret Hart. 81, Nexus versus Team WWE. And my number 80 is Nails versus Virgil. Not even a big
pretty high.
I just kept picking it because I'm a fan of SummerSlam 92.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
And if something happened on that card, I'm going to give it the nudge over, say, Valentine versus Hercules or something.
79, Hakushi versus the 123 Kid. 78, the Smoking Guns versus Tatanka and Bam Bam Bigelow. 77, Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS versus the Head Shrinkers. 76, D'Lo Brown versus Val Venus. 75, Big Boss Man versus Coco Beware. 74, Shawn Michaels versus Mr. Perfect, because that was a real letdown, man, that match. 73, Bradshaw versus The Undertaker. 72, Rick Martel versus Shawn Michaels. 71, Mr. Perfect versus Red Rooster. And 70, and I'll give a defense to this one, Virgil against Ted DiBiase, SummerSlam 91, because that had a lot of crowd heat, man.
That was a great match. That's Virgil's career best.
Yeah, crowd was really into it.
And honestly, I could see a case for it being DiBiase's best WWF match. I mean, it's either that or one of the Brett matches, because he had a lot of underwhelming matches in WWF.
For his, I think for his career, it's one of his better angles with Virgil.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead with yours.
My 79 is Ted DiBiase versus Jimmy Snuka. 78, Yokozuna versus Lex Luger. 77, Kurt Hennig versus Shawn Michaels. 76, Triple H versus Kurt Angle versus The Rock. 75, Test versus Shane McMahon. 74, Shane McMahon versus Steve Blackman. 73, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. 72, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. 71, Earthquake versus Hulk Hogan. And my number 70 is Big Boss Man versus Coco Beware. Pure squash match. Great little drop kick from Coco, but I just, it introduced Boss Man to the audience, really. I mean, he had some superstars appearances and stuff, but this was his first pay-per-view. It was a good showing.
Number 69, Alundra Blaze versus Bull Nakano. Number 68, X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett. Number 67, The Rock versus Booker T. 66, Shawn Michaels versus Vader. 65, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. 64, Jeff Jarrett versus D'Lo Brown. 63, Goldust versus Brian Pillman. 62, Triple H versus Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, Kevin Nash. 61, the New Age Outlaws against Mankind, which is supposed to be with Kane, but that didn't happen. And 60, Edge defeats Matt Hardy by technical knockout. As much as we don't like Edge, definitely a good angle because it was very realistic, but it dropped off real fast. But that wasn't that bad. Yeah,
I think they're both each other's best opponent.
Yeah.
My 69 is Jake Roberts versus Hercules. 68, Mabel versus Diesel. 67.
Ooh, that's high, brother. That's fucking high. Go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead.
I really like when he just squashes Diesel's back. So, that's a spot I remember more than some of the matches below it. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena is my 67. 66, 123 Kid versus Hakushi. 65, Skip versus Barry Horowitz. 64, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. 63, Power and Glory and Warlord versus Kerry Von Erich, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Davey Boy Smith. 62, The Natural Disasters versus the Beverly Brothers. 61, Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan versus the Triangle of Terror. And my number 60 is Natalya versus Charlotte. I think that they have great matches together. I remember they had a match in NXT, and it's like the big meme where Brett's looking all disgusted with Charlotte's attempt at the sharpshooter. But other than the execution of the sharpshooter, great matches between the two of them. And that's my number 60.
Brett's he's a happy camper. He doesn't judge people ever.
Not at all.
Number 59, Texas Tornado versus Mr. Perfect. 58, Big Boss Man versus the Mountie. 57, Steve Austin versus The Undertaker. 56, Team WB versus Team Nexus. 55, Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. 54, Jim Duggan and Demolition versus Andre the Giant and Twin Towers. 53, The Dragon and Bulldog and Texas Tornado versus Warlord Power and Glory. 52, Legion of Doom versus Money Incorporated. 51, Edge versus Lance Storm. And 50, the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks.
Main event.
Main event, big heat. Not the greatest match, but still, the fans were into it. I was into it as a kid, so I'll give myself.
You know what I really liked about that match?
What's that?
Jesse refereeing.
Yeah, Jesse's great. Yeah.
It sucks because you get superstar Billy Graham on commentary because of it, but if you just watch just that match, it's Jesse does a great special.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome heel ref. Kind of a funny little ending with Hogan putting his hand down, but still, it was fun.
My 59 is The Rock versus Booker T. 58, Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart. 57, John Cena versus Seth Rollins. 56, Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude from 90. 55, The Road Warriors versus Money Inc. 54, Mega Bucks versus Mega Powers. 53, Jeff Jarrett versus D'Lo Brown. 52, Power and Glory versus The Rockers. 51, Honky Tonk Man versus Dusty Rhodes. And my number 50 is Tatanka and the Smoking Guns versus Bam Bam Bigelow and the Head Shrinkers. What I really remember about this match is Bam Bam doing Head Shrinkers taunt at the start of the match. And I like how with SummerSlam, they just have a tradition of having 6-man tag matches just to get guys on the card, and they always deliver because nobody's in there too long and ruining it by being boring with a chinlock or something.
49, Ric Flair versus Chris Jericho. 48, British Bulldogs versus the Fabulous Russo Brothers. 47, Hulk Hogan and Bruce Buchanan versus Randy Savage and Zeus. That's the highest Zeus ever getting in my fucking list. 46, John Cena versus Chris Jericho. 45, Ric Flair versus Mick Foley. 44, Mankind versus Undertaker from SummerSlam 96. I should say in the years, actually, but whatever. 43, Ultimate Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man. 42, Power and Glory versus the Rockers. 41, Edge versus Eddie Guerrero. And 40, Demolition versus the Hart Foundation, the 1988 one. I just love the Hart Foundation back then, man. I know the other one's better, and obviously it'll make the list higher, but that's just a fun little match, I think. And the cool little angle with Jimmy in the corner and stuff like that. It's fun. Go ahead.
My 49 is Dino Bravo versus Don Morocco. 48, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels.
Way too high.
No way. Should go higher.
Keep going.
48 is Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. 47, Savio Vega versus Owen Hart. 46, X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett. 45, Rick Martel versus Shawn Michaels. 44, LOD versus the Nasty Boys. 43, CM Punk versus John Cena. 42, Chris Jericho versus John Cena. 41, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. And my number 40 is Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Eddie Guerrero. Doesn't hold a candle to their Havoc match, but, I mean, you get Mysterio and Eddie in the match, it's going to be all right at least.
We talked about that in our post-interview phone call. And that match was high on my list, but Ray was fucking with his mask for the first little bit. It drove me crazy. 39, CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy. 38, Steve Austin versus Owen Hart. 37, Mankind versus Steve Austin and Triple H. 36, Road Warriors versus the Nasty Boys. 35, Razor Ramon versus Diesel, SummerSlam 94. 34, Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage. 33, Rougeau Brothers and Rick Martel versus Tito Santana and the Rockers. 32, Robin Van Dam versus Chris Benoit. 31, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. And 30, I cannot talk. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't remember seeing it, but I know it was good. Hey, dude, what am I going to do? I'm sitting there clicking, bro. And I'll tell you, I told you when I was texting you, after 03, that's a hard fucking sell, man.
Yeah, but honestly, if a match doesn't have any lasting appeal, like if you don't remember much about it, I don't know how you could vote it over like matches that.
So I think part of it's just like, well, this match would be better than this one when I'm doing my voting. So, but either way, go ahead.
My 39 is Randy Savage versus Ultimate Warrior. 38, Ultimate Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man. 37, Ted DiBiase versus Razor Ramon. 36, Kerry Von Erich versus Kurt Hennig. 35, Mankind versus Triple H. 34, Big Boss Man versus the Mountie. 33, Shawn Michaels versus Vader. 32, Kurt Angle versus Steve Austin. 31, Edge versus Matt Hardy. And my number 30 is a match that I remember watching at the time, but I rewatched for Newsstand versus Newsletter, and that is AJ Styles versus John Cena. It was a good match.
Yeah, I remember that match. I do remember that one because I like Styles. All right, 29, Brock Lesnar beats the living piss out of Randy Orton. That was the fun part. Watching Orton bleed like a stuffed pig made me feel good. 28, Bret Hart versus Undertaker. 27, Jerry Lawler versus Bret Hart. The actual match. 26, the Brainbusters versus the Hart Foundation. 25, Triple H versus The Rock, ladder match. 24, AJ Styles versus John Cena. 23, Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho, 2 out of 3 falls match. 20, did I already say Punk and Hardy?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got 99, then I fucked up. 21, Shawn Michaels versus Razor in Summerslam 95. And 20, The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, technical submission. I liked that match, except for the laughing part kind of bugged me. But it was a good match, excluding that part. It was stupid. That was before fucking Lesnar and Taker had 93 matches in a row.
I think what separates it from the like better matches is that finish. I don't like a low blow for a finish.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
My 29, Twin Towers and Andre the Giant versus Demolition and Hacksaw.
Man, that's a big. I'm not putting that down, but I'll say that's a really high ranking for that match.
I love that match. That's a fun match. Smash gets to slam Akeem and Boss Man. I mean, that was fun.
You know what the original plan was for that, right?
Big John Studd.
Studd sucked. So Andre wasn't that great either. Keep going.
28, Owen Hart versus Steve Austin. 27, Steve Austin versus Triple H versus Mankind. 26, Undertaker versus Steve Austin. 25, Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys in the very first ever TLC match. 24, Triple H versus The Rock. 23, Christian versus Randy Orton. 22, the Mega Maniacs versus Zeus and Randy Savage. 21, Razor Ramon versus Diesel. And my number 20 from SummerSlam 93, the Steiner Brothers versus the Heavenly Bodies, which just felt like a WCW match held in a WWF ring.
Yeah, they were looking for different things at that point. I'll definitely agree with that. My 19, the Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude from SummerSlam 90. My 18, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. My 17, Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude from 89. 16, Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. 15, Steiner Brothers versus the Heavenly Bodies. 14, Mankind versus Triple H from Cage Match. 13, Kurt Angle versus Steve Austin. 12, Edge and Christian versus Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys TLC. 11, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns versus the Y family. I love, you know what? I get the Shield ship, but they had a really kick-ass feud, man. That was a really good feud between them two. And number 10, Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Really good match. Again, my only argument with that match was Rey wouldn't stop fucking with his mask. And that really took him down for me. But it was a very good match. But again, like you said, doesn't touch the Havoc one.
Yeah. My 19 is Undertaker versus Mankind from 96. 18, Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio Jr. 17, the Rougeaus versus the British Bulldogs. 16, Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels. 15, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. 14, Ted DiBiase versus Virgil. Big fan of that match. 13, Bret Hart versus Undertaker. 12, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. 11, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. And my number 10 from SummerSlam 90, Demolition versus the Hart Foundation in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Great match. And I remember on the road to SummerSlam seeing Hart Foundation against Demolition in Montreal, and it was Axe and Crush. And you knew it was going to be Smash and Crush because they were pushed as like the new Demolition, and Axe was kind of like the player coach.
Yeah. My number 9, Brock Lesnar versus The Rock. Number 8, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect. Number 7, the Hart Foundation versus Demolition, best 2 out of 3 falls. The Rock versus Triple H versus Kurt Angle, number 6. Number 5, Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. Number 4, Bret Hart versus Doink the Clown. Because that's a fucking awesome, awesome match, man. I love that match. And I'll tell you, bro, like, it's just great. Doink's fucking awesome in 93. Number 3, Bret Hart versus Owen Hart in the Steel Cage match. Number 2, the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart from SummerSlam 92. What's my number 1?
Is it Sapphire versus Sensational Sherry?
That's my number 1 all the time. I can't just pick up for that, man. That one.
What is it?
Daniel Bryan versus John Cena.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Great match, man. Bryan's over like a motherfucker. Cena's great. Cena gets that big, what does he get? A big egg on his fucking lap. Remember that massive egg he got in that? And they just killed it in that match. It was a great match. Love it. And again, that brought me back for a bit because I was a huge Bryan fan. Like a lot of people were. And then they fucked us. But anyway.
I remember having to watch it for Newsstand versus Newsletter, another episode when that was one of the matches of the year. And
yeah,
it holds
match.
up. Great match.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Bull Nakano versus Alundra Blaze. Number 8, Brock Lesnar versus The Rock. Number 7, Demolition versus Heart Foundation from 88 because I prefer the Summerslam 88 match
over the 91. Huh, interesting.
Yeah, because Axe and Smash, way better than Smash.
Yeah. I just found with the 88 one, it's a little more like hokey because there's stupid shit in it. But I get it. It's a great match.
With Jimmy Hart on ringside. But Neidhart has probably his best match that I can remember. Like he's a house of fire in there. He does suicide dive to the outside. I mean, it was great. My number 6 is Heart Foundation versus Brainbusters. Number 5, Rougeos and Rick Martel versus Tito Santana and the Rockers. My number 4 is Jerry Lawler / Doink versus Bret Hart. I included it all as one match.
Fair enough.
My number 3 is Bret Hart versus Kurt Hennig. Number 2 is Davey Boy Smith versus Bret Hart. And my number 1, do you know it?
I don't know it, no.
From
Warrior
Road.
Yeah, you love that match.
Love it.
All right. So let's hop back into it here. Halftime was fun. SummerSlam top matches was definitely interesting. Were you surprised that I had Bret and Doink up so high? And where did you have them at again? Did you have them at 4 also?
I had them at 4, yeah. But I combined Lawler and Doink as one match / angle.
So we both had that at the same. Well, I know, but we both had it the same number.
Yep.
That's interesting. All right. Let's get into the next one, which is Feud of the Year.
And also, if I can just say this, I know that they call Shawn Michaels Mr. WrestleMania.
He is not Mr. SummerSlam. Bret Hart. I was thinking that doing it. He is definitely Mr. SummerSlam. And Michaels really, man, he didn't have good SummerSlam matches. Really, well, he had the one with Razor, but I mean, he was mediocre at SummerSlam at best.
It depends how you feel about his Triple H match. Like I liked his Hulk Hogan match for reasons that don't have anything to do with the fact that it's a good match. It's just because it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, that's very unprofessional, I think, honestly, in my opinion. All right, let's get into Feud of the Year. I'm first, so you guess my Feud of the Year.
Is it Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega?
You are very correct, sir. It is Omega versus Okada. Let me go look at the runner-ups, and I'm way all over the place here. Where's my tag team? Oh, hold on a second here. I got to do my control because I've done fun Feud of the Year. Where are you hiding at? Okay, I don't have Feud of the Year, but anyway, Feud of the Year is Okada and Omega. And I'll guess the same for you, actually, in PWI.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
It's Okada and Omega. They win it with 26% of the vote. And it's crazy to think because now New Japan is so dry as far as creatively speaking. Like it had a little bit of relevancy with Forbidden Door, which you still have to watch, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'll watch it.
So they win it with 26% of the vote. First runner-up is Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman with 21%. Second runner-up is Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens with 11%. Third runner-up is Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman with 8%. And honorable mentions totaling 34% include John Cena versus The Miz, the Hardys versus Anthem.
I don't know who Anthem is.
Oh, Anthem is the company that owned TNA for a bit. I think
they had feuds. They had feuds with the company. Oh my God, it's pathetic.
Well, I think this is like a little inside baseball going on in PWI, which is not the PWI that I grew up with.
Yeah, sons of bitches.
Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, AJ Styles versus John Cena, and the Usos versus New Day.
All right. That's fantastic. Next one. Best woman for you, woman of the year for you, best gimmick for myself. So woman of the year for you. Charlotte.
It is Asuka.
Oh,
Asuka wins it with 38% of the vote.
She gets my vote.
Me too. I think she's the best in WWE right now.
Oh, I'm talking about her looks. I don't care about her wrestling ability. I just think she's hot.
First runner-up is Alexa Bliss with 23%. Second runner-up is Charlotte Flair with 12%. Third runner-up is Sienna with 8%. And honorable mentions totaling 19% include Sasha Banks, Bayley, Naomi, Natalia, and Rosemary. And let me just say this.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a man of the year category or wrestler of the year, I wouldn't be reading so many one name. Like maybe Sting, and that's it. But like women don't get last names. I mean, they're few and far between. You got Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch, and everybody else just one name.
Yeah, Vince is an asshole. Fucking listening to their people. Best gimmick.
Is it the Hardys?
It is. Let me try to pronounce it. If I can get it up here. Los Agrigos. Can you pronounce that? Los Agrigos Inno Japan? That's what it says. Or either it's spelled wrong.
Incorrigibles Japan?
Yeah. Feedback on that, Andrew? Because I don't know who they are.
That is from clockwise, from far left. That is Sonata. In the middle, with the mask, I can't remember his name. On the right is Evil, one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time. Doing the thing with the eye is what's his name? Naito, and the other gentleman with the tribute to Triple H with the jean jacket over the leather jacket. That is Hiromo Tanahashi. Something like that.
Good for him. There should always be tributes to Triple H all the time. He is the greatest of all time. All right. Well, that's okay. So the next one is most hated for you, most overrated in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. So you get to pick the most overrated wrestler.
Is it Jinder Mahal?
You are correct, sir. You are definitely correct. Jinder Mahal wins it. He gets the votes with 569 votes. That's second with 62 votes. Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin, Cody, The Miz, Bray Wyatt, Shane McMahon, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, and Sexy Star. Most hated for you. I'm going to go Brock Lesnar.
It's Jinder Mahal as well.
Isn't that funny, eh? Most overrated, most hated.
He wins it with 26% of the vote. By the way, I forgot to keep track. Did we have any other categories
I don't
together?
think so. We
Where
had like most improved and rookie of the year.
Tag,
Was it?
tag team was both the Bucks. Feud of the year was both Okada, Omega.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mahal wins it with 26%. First runner-up is Kevin Owens with 24%. Second runner-up is Roman Reigns with 22%. Third runner-up is Sexy Star with 15%. Let me just read to you, because I was reading. I was curious, why is she so hated and considered a disgusting promotional tactic? We may never know exactly what happened that night in Mexico City, but it seems clear that Sexy Star deliberately attempted to injure Rosemary at Triple Mania 25. Though Star won the match, Triple H did the right thing and DQ'd her after the fact, vacating the women's title. This behavior should not be tolerated. So that
She did something greasy.
Yeah. Took advantage of somebody who thought it would work. Honorable mentions totaling 13% include Alberto El Patron, Andrade El Mus, Enzo Amore, Baron Corbin, Eli Drake, and Samoa Joe.
Did you ever hear the story about Andre and Blackjack Mulligan? I've seen it on YouTube. Blackjack talking about it. Andre's like, the fight, don't kick me with your boots. Like, no, there's no fucking rules here. If I get you down, kick with the boots. He didn't talk that nice about Andre. So match of the year. Now, this is pretty fucking easy, but you can try Okada and Omega for you, and Okada and Omega for the Observer, and Okada and Omega for every other fucking person on the planet.
That's a January 4th one from
yeah. Now, I watched it with English commentating. It was good. Fucking 93 stars. No, it's not 93 stars good. But it was good. It was enjoyable. My sound was fucked up. I was getting the counts. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I knew when it was over because the count came before I'd seen it. A couple cool spots, like the table spot was fun. Like when he jumped on the table onto him. Omega took a really cool drop where he basically flew across the ring. It was really neat.
Omega does a great dive over the ropes where he has like his arms behind him.
I mean, it's a good match, but is it like worthy of so much praise? They act like it's the greatest match of all time. It's not the greatest match of all time. So, how did you feel about it?
It's okay. I find that New Japan main event style where it has to go long.
Yeah, that went too long. Like an hour's too long, dude.
They need to mix it up every once in a while and have a shorter match. And yeah, people will complain online about how they didn't get their 5-star match, but it'll make it more believable to the crowd. They'll buy near falls prior to the 40-minute mark. Like now,
go ahead.
They just would like. There's a different reaction later on in the match to kickouts. You need that reaction earlier on than it is, and it's because they telegraph the fact they're going long too much.
Well, the thing is, like, I get WWE shit a lot, but I remember the year they did Lesnar and Cena, and didn't Lesnar just destroy him in like 5 minutes? Like, I don't mind that, dude. It makes it more realistic. I was saying with WWE, but it makes it more realistic. It makes it like, okay, he just, whoa, Andrew's got some problems. There he is. It's like, yes, it's a fight because it's like if you want to treat it like a sport, like, I mean, there's lots of sports. Like, I've seen games that are done by the first quarter, you know, they're blowouts and teams don't come back. I mean, yeah, it's okay, but no, God, no. It's not like rewatch it 93 times with Disney fans. But this is the way at the Observer. They have their favorites every year, and this is their favorite that year. Like, this match is like the godsend. Because let's be real about it. As much as they're voting, Dave Meltzer influences these people big time on what they vote. They're very sheepish towards him. I don't know how you feel about that.
But you got to think of it like this. Is it that they're influenced by him, or that whether it be wrestling or politics, people love echo chambers. They love reinforcement of what they believe. They don't want to be challenged with their beliefs. They want to have content and news from people that have similar opinions to them so that they feel justified in their opinions. And I feel like Observer readers, they don't get the Observer if, you know, their favorite show is WWE Main Event. You know,
yeah, well,
subscribers.
I want to find someone who's that's their favorite show. Some fucking weirdo.
What were your runners up?
Okada and Omega from June 11th. Okada and Shibata from April 9th. Naito and Omega from August 13th. Okada and Omega from August 12th. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne from NXT. Kushida and Will Ospreay from June 3rd. John Cena and AJ Styles from the Rumble. The Park versus Rush, and Keith Lee versus Donovan to Jack. So yes, that's my runner-ups.
So my match of the year is also Okada and Omega, also from January 4th.
Also 93 stars.
Also 93
a star for every half a second the match went.
It's funny. It says here, how good was the January 4 Wrestle Kingdom 11 bout between Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega? Good enough to play havoc on the famed star ranking system popularized by Wrestling Observer newsletter publisher Dave Meltzer, who rated the match 6 stars on his 5-star scale. So this wasn't the 7-star match. That would be the next year.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck about stars. It's stupid. Go ahead.
First runner-up is Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega from June 11th. Second runner-up with 10% of the vote goes to Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate from May 20th. And third runner-up with 8% is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman from SummerSlam.
Can I say something before you go any further?
Sure.
Because SummerSlam weekend, is it not? Right now?
Yeah.
What's the main event for SummerSlam?
It is... Oh, man. That's a good question.
You don't know what it is?
I think it's Roman against...
Let's go. Start with a B.
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That's weird because in 2017
Dude,
they were in the main event.
Yeah, it's so strange. They've been doing all these different events together. Oh wait, never mind. Fucking dreadful, man. Go ahead.
This is our special. So we're gonna do our predictions after the show.
No, we're fucking not. Because I am not watching that trash. I'll tell you that right now. I got much better things to do than watch that.
Honorable mentions.
Paint dries funner. Go ahead.
Honorable mentions totaling 50% include Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura from January 28th, John Cena versus AJ Styles from January 29th, Will Ospreay versus Ricochet from May 18th, Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns from July 9th, Asuka versus Ember Moon from August 19th, Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada from August 12th, Usos versus New Day from October 8th, and Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon from October 8th.
Okay, great. So we have two more awards, the regular ones to go. We have, the next one is for you, the Stanley Weston Award. For me, it's the best non-wrestler. I don't know. Who died that year? We're going to find out at the end of the show. Dusty? Dusty died that year?
It is Jack Briscoe.
Okay.
He wins the Stanley Weston Award. And by the way, Jack Briscoe died in 2010.
It's 7 years later? What the fuck, man?
Stanley Weston Award, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus. Best non-wrestler.
I'm going to say Paul Heyman.
Brian
Danielson.
Wow. Brian Danielson, yes. Daniel Bryan, sorry. I said it wrong. He wins it with, let's go down here, look. 245. Zelina Vega, Paul Heyman, Dario Couto, Dan Lambert, Jim Cornette, Shane McMahon, and Renee Young. Kurt Angle gets an honorable mention. And last but least, Wrestler of the Year. Who is my Wrestler of the Year?
Is it Kazuchika Okada?
It is Okada. He wins it. Okada wins it with 5,166 votes. Kenny Omega seconds. Tetsuya Naito is third. AJ Styles, Rush, Brock Lesnar, Tanahashi, Asisi, I can't pronounce that, and Chris Jericho. I'll pick Okada for you also. I just fucked up my mic there.
It is AJ Styles, the cover boy. AJ Styles wins it with 38% of the vote. First runner-up is Kazuchika Okada with 21%. Second runner-up is Kenny Omega with 11%. Third runner-up is Cody Rhodes with 9%. And honorable mentions totaling 21% include Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar, Jinder Mahal, Tetsuya Naito, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And
I'll go with AJ Styles with that. I'll go with AJ Styles.
And I will go with Okada.
So what's the totals there, Slick?
The tally for you is PWI 2, Wrestling Observer Newsletter 1, and for me, PWI 1, Wrestling Observer Newsletter 2.
So let's get into the long list of people who passed away in the year 2017. You got some births too? You got some new wrestlers that are coming out there?
Don't actually have any births, but
yes.
we have some big deaths in 2017, and the following wrestling personalities are no longer with us. They perished in 2017. They include Shiro Abe, John Allen, Lloyd Antonation, El Apache, Don Arakawa, Bobby Bafana Balaminga,
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Here's how it's spelled, Scott. BAHFANABALAMINGA.
You did a better job than me than butchering it than I would have.
Tetsuya Baisho, Nicole Bass, Outlaw Ron Bass, Chandler Biggins, JD Blesko, Brazo de Oro, Chip Burnham III, JJ Carson, JJ Castillo, Ray Celestial, JL Chico, Eon Proitoro, Gwen Davies, Bobby Dean, Richard Delicious, Eric Dennis, Tom Drake, Steve Druk, Scott Island, Vic Faulkner, Uncle Felton, Devin Fielding, Fishman, Steve Gatorwolf.
Oh, yeah, well, he could have died once. I didn't really know he was dead. What happened to him?
I didn't know either.
We got to figure that one out. I got to find out. Keep going. I don't think he's dead, dude. I really don't think that guy's dead.
Maybe he went missing.
Yeah, he went missing. You know what he did, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
He likes the ladies a bit younger.
He does. Grand Apache, Chavo Guerrero Sr., Smith Hart, the Hawaiian Kid, Ken Hawk, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jun Izumida, Billy Jack, the Jackal, Dallas James, Dave Johnson, Burhead Jones, Rhubarb Jones, Tom Jones, Ruben Juarez.
Can I cut you off here? He's not dead,
Sure.
dude.
PWI, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's not dead. I'll double check it, but I'm checking Cage Match. I already checked one thing. Yeah, he's still alive. He is. No, they have, yeah. Day of death. I didn't know. This is really fucked up. Hold on a second here. Tidbits.
That's like me with T.J. Khan. I didn't know he died until I was reading the in memoriam on there.
Keep going through your list. I got to find this out here. Keep going.
Johnny K9, Ken Kaiser, Brandon Kaplan, Fran Keith, J. Michael Kenyon, Bill Kirsten, Rex King, Ivan Koloff, Stan Kowalski, Damian Main, Gino Moore, Dale Mann, Benjamin Mora Jr., Elliot Murnick, Don Nakanya Nielsen, Nigerian Nightmare, Neil O'Brien, William Ogletree, Bucky Palermo, Mike Patry, Michael Plessing, Mr. Pogo, The Punisher, Joaquin Roldan, Rosie, Ron Rossi, Lance Russell, Yasu Sakurai, Hans Schroeder, Larry Sharp, Hurricane Smith, Jimmy Snuka, Doug Summers, Ruben Soria, Dennis Stamp, Rotten Ron Starr, George the Animal Steel, Eddie Steinblock, Levon Stone, Rex Strong, Bob Sweetan, Tugboat Taylor, Tokyo Joe, Ricky Villain, Diane Von Huffman, Colonel Tom Walker, Otto Wands, Buddy Wayne, Jay West, Wicked, Buddy Wolf, and finally, the Z-Man, Tom Zink.
Our boy Tommy Zink. Our boy.
If you're tuned into this, also don't forget we have Abyss.
Dude, they are not watching at this point. If you do, watch Abyss of Zink.
Watching right now. This is between us.
He is dead. He died. He was 60. That's something that was kept under wraps, man. Like no one really knew about that. He died in jail of heart issues. Broken heart, couldn't meet the ladies anymore. Yeah, so that's Bobby Heenan's the biggest one of the bunch, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's some competition. There's Ivan Koloff, Jimmy Snuka, Lance Russell.
Yeah, but Heenan's the man. All right, do you have any more things for me to go with before I jump into the secondary awards?
No, let's do it.
Okay, let's jump into it. Most outstanding wrestler.
I'm gonna say Kenny Omega.
Okada, Omega second, AJ Styles is third. Best on interviews.
Paul Heyman.
Conor McGregor, Jericho, and The Miz are second and third. Promotion of the year.
New Japan.
Yeah. Ring of Honor and World Wrestling Entertainment are second and third. Best weekly television show.
Is it New Japan Pro Wrestling?
You don't say. NXT, CMLL third. Let's see. Biggest box office draw.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Ugh, yuck. Kenny Omega second. Most charismatic.
Conor McGregor.
Tetsuya Tetsuya.
Naito? Yeah.
Okay. Conor McGregor second. Omega's third. Bryan Danielson Award.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Correct. Bruiser Brody Award.
Tomohiro Ishii.
Correct. Best flying wrestler.
Omega.
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
Best television announcer.
Kevin Kelly.
Mario Rinola. Did I say his name right?
Mauro Ranallo.
Well, yeah, okay. Worst television announcer. There's a lot to guess from.
Is it Michael Cole?
Booker T, brother. Worst major wrestling show.
Survivor Series.
WWE Battlegrounds. AAA Triple Mania. Impact Bound for Glory. Best wrestling maneuver.
One Winged Angel.
Correct. We already got that one there. Worst television show.
Is it Raw?
Yes, it is. Worst worked wrestling match.
Is it Shane and Taker?
Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, and second's Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton House of Horrors. So remember, people, all you Randy Orton fans, give your fucking head a shake. He's not good.
Mr. SummerSlam.
Worst feud of the year.
Miz and Cena? Of
Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt.
course.
Worst promotion of the year.
TNA?
Oh, yeah. Damn Skippy by a ton. Best Booker.
Dito?
That's correct. 1,025 votes. Second, Paul Levesque with 48 votes. Promoter of the year.
Dana White?
Takai, the guy who runs New Japan. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. That's just worse. Worst gimmick of the year.
Jinder Mahal?
Bray Wyatt and Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
Best wrestling book.
Is it
Guess. It's not a Jericho book. I'll just tell you right now.
Is it the Loose Cannon, the Brian Pillman biography?
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, Crazy Like a Fox. Yeah. Best wrestling documentary.
Was Dark Side going on then?
No.
No. Oof. It's gonna be tough. Wait. That Omega one, was it 2017? Omega Man?
It was Flair 30 for 30. Then the Brody one, Pro Wrestlers Rebels, I watched, which was actually really good. Fight Owens Fight 3. Listen to this one. Office of the Gentleman, Dave Meltzer. Did he have a documentary on himself?
Don't know.
I haven't heard of that.
He should have had a show on hoarders, if anything.
Yeah, that fucking room. How that room didn't burn his house down yet, it's a fucking miracle. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. My room's a mess too, but holy fuck, man. Like, that thing's a fire waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I shouldn't talk. I have a ton of cords around me. I got shit tons of them all over the place. I have my work computer. I'm going to turn my phone around. Right there.
Oh, nice. Two monitors.
That's fun. Up there, I have my little trophy. That's my look at my living room, everybody. Does everyone care? There's lots of mess on that. There's some stuff on the. Yeah, look at that, huh? Yeah. Yep. And there's where the magic happens. That's my living room, people. Don't tell your friends. I know you're still watching an hour and 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
So anyway, got anything else to add to the great year of 2017?
What were you doing in 2017, Scott?
A whole lot of nothing. Just working. There was nothing going on, man. I'm fucking an adult at that point. I'm not doing shit. Like, going to work, going home, not jumping off the bus at full speed, basically. That's a good day. If I'm not trying to hop on the bus at full speed, I'm good to go. But no, for me, it's still football, man. Football's my thing. I mean, until my team wins the Super Bowl, which they finally did in 2019, 2020. All about the football, man. That's all I care about, really. Wrestling's on the back burner for me at this point, man.
You were watching Raw every week. I remember you would always call me and say, "Did you see what happened on Raw?" Like, I'm surprised we're like full disclosure, people, but we're recording this when Raw's on right now, so Scott's missing this. He's pissed.
I know, it drives me nuts. I can't even believe I'm missing this stuff. They're doing a lie detector test. How can I miss that? They got to tell me all. They got a guy come to the ring, go to commercial, like Andrew says, and come back, do a package, and then go to another commercial. Finally, get back to the ring. Like, what? Oh yeah, it was a match. It was a match.
Let me ask you this, because this is the SummerSlam special.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your favorite SummerSlam you've seen and your least favorite SummerSlam that you've seen?
Oh my god, dude! Because they're just least favorite. I could give you a ton of them because there's a lot of bad ones in the 2000s.
Yeah, but
probably 89 is my favorite.
Yeah, same.
I don't know, dude. Like anything after 03, fuck, you can name them.
Yeah, I'm trying to like remember some of the ones. I feel like I'm gonna say 2010 because I remember watching that one, and 2010 is not the best year for us.
It's just they're garbage, man. I mean, until they prove me wrong, they're garbage. Sorry, WWE fans, but the company you love is absolute trash. But enjoy your SummerSlam. I'm gonna do something else that doesn't involve that. Like, I will not watch that. It It was funny last year. I remember last year Summerslam was on the same night as the Gold Cup and Saucer, the big race in PWI. So I watched that. Once that race was over, I went up to a website and I clicked on the little link there where you can watch it for free. I know. And the Cena and Lesnar match was coming up, right?
Last year?
No, what was it? Cena and Reigns last year?
Maybe. I don't remember.
I think it was Cena Reigns. And I remember like cutting out. And if I'm like, I didn't even bother my own, whatever. I just didn't care. Like, it didn't even like phase me to try to go back and get it. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Who's your money on? Do you think it's going to be Brock or Roman? And also, do you think Theory's going to cash in? Because if he does, he'll be the youngest WWE champion of all time. And you know how they are with wanting to always have the youngest person. Like when Rock left, they made sure to change it to.
I want you to ask me a better question, but keep going.
No, sure, go ahead.
Ask me if I care.
How much do you care about the...
I don't give a shit about that company, man. It's trash. It's garbage. I haven't watched 1 second of any of their shows this Rumble. I watched Rumble because I had money on it. That's it, man. Like, you get me to watch tennis. If I had money on tennis, I'd watch tennis. I'd watch bowling. If I had like money on the bowlers, I'd watch bowling. WWE is horrible, man. Like, people go on the internet and bitch about it, but they watch it. I don't watch it ever. I don't watch it. I don't have any clue, and I don't care. Their product is trash. I like AEW, but I'll tell you what AEW they got stuff doing. Chill the fuck out, man, because you're gonna injure your entire roster if you don't stop going crazy on the middle matches on Wednesday. You can mellow it the fuck out a little bit. You're gonna kill your whole roster.
Yeah. Do you know what the problem is? All these guys study their tapes and they all watch their, whether it be Masawa, Kawada, Brett, Sean, Flair. They're watching the one style of match. They need to expand their horizons. Like, where's the Jimmy Valiant? Where's the George Steele? Where's the guy on the card who is over always like a Duggan? He's not the best worker, but he's going to have reactions on his matches. They're not going to have people sitting on their hands, and they're not only going to pop for dives and for head drop.
The problem is the crowd's down. That's all they care about. You get like,
I don't know. You can still be over, like guys like MGF and Punk.
Yeah.
If you have personality and you have a character, you can get over. You just don't have to have that Tokyo Dome main event every week.
I get it. They did it with that fucking cage match last week when we're recording this long after that. Well, we're bringing it out long after that. That match was like, are you nuts, man? Stop it. Stop trying to destroy yourself for a Wednesday night match. Stop it. Hold it for the pay-per-view. But anyway. All right. So better people subscribe because you're watching. You're all watching until the end. Subscribe, notification bell. Don't you forget that notification bell, kids. We'll see you again in another episode of Newsstand versus Newsletter. Don't watch SummerSlam. Bye.
Beautiful plaque. Okay, the first one is Billy Jack. Billy Jack was voted by all you fans all over the world as the most improved wrestler of the year, and I'd like to give him the plaque right now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the man who received over 12,000 votes. 12,000 votes as the most popular wrestler of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the plaque, and now here's the man who won it by your choice, the former World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.